Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Weather Forecast Center. Here to give you the latest on information about this upcoming possible uh, storm that's going to end up in the Gulf of Mexico um, sometime late this upcoming week into next weekend. Um, and I have the latest 12Z runs of the GFS and Euro that I'm going to go over. And there has been some changes to those predictions, or I shouldn't say predictions, but the model guidance on both of them pertaining to this potential storm. So I will go ahead and get started here. We are looking at the 500 millibar height and wind. Um, I will progress this forward to where the storm starts coming into view, which will be right here. You see, this is where you're. Well, let's change that to black, please. Thank you. So this is where it would be Thursday, early, very early Thursday morning. Okay, most of your wind energy is going to be on the eastern side of this storm, this possible storm. Okay, and I will tell you why a in a few moments. But this is your possible storm heading up through the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, we'll stop it here. This is Thursday night on the 26th. Your low will be here. Your wind energy is way out in front of this. There's almost nothing to the west side of this storm. So, and the and the wind directions are wonky through here. You got southerly winds here going to westerly winds here. Okay, this is on the west side of the storm. Um, you have a trough axis that goes into the Gulf of Mexico. I will show you why in a few moments. Um, so most of your weather from this potential storm will be on the northeast to east side of this. As we continue this forward, we will stop it here as this will be midnight Friday. Okay. Your storm will be approaching landfall here. Uh, the Alabama, Florida Panhandle area. Your strongest winds would be well displaced to the northeast to east side of the storm. You start to get a little bit of wind back here on the south side, but not much on the west side. So there's been changes to that reasoning, and I will show you why in a few moments. Um, so that's the GFS. I will show you the Euro. I will take it to about here. Once it refreshes, there we go. So now we got a formable low right here. This will be your potential storm, but your winds are displaced to the north and east of the storm. And there's nothing on the west side or the rural south side of this storm. And again, there is a trough here. Um, heading to the supposedly to the east, but I will show you all that in a moment on why this has changed since yesterday. So we continue this forward. Your wind field is way out ahead of this storm. Okay? Your trough axis is now negatively tilted. And as you can see here, you got kind of westerly winds kind of going, kind of going this way. And then you got, basically your east winds to the north here. And then your due south is right next to it. So there is some wind shear going on the west side of the storm that's not shown, that could cause this to be a weaker system. Again, we're just showing winds. I will show you the actual um, precipitation run in a moment. And this is the Euro, takes it up here around the Alabama, Florida panhandle area. Slower on Saturday with it looks more compact, but it's still kind of everything to the east side of the storm. Okay? And I will show you why right now. I will go to, so we will go to this, and we'll go to this. We're going to start with the Euro in the Gulf of Mexico first. So we will take it to about here. So here's your storm. Down here, 999 into the Gulf of Mexico. As we move this forward, barely drops anything. It barely the millibars barely drops. Most of your weather is going to be well ahead of the actual center of the storm. Not much in the western side of the storm because in the upper wind, uh, let's try that again. The upper winds are just going to start pushing this on the backside, on the west side of the storm, pushing it to the east. As we continue this forward, it starts moving to the northeast, takes it to a 992 millibar low with all the weather well to the north, well to the north and northeast of the storm. Nothing on the backside of this, or or even to the south. So this is this storm had trended weaker. We will go to the GFS. We will start here when it populates. Okay, that's already in inland, so we'll back this up a little bit. So we're going to, whoa. So we're going to start here. This is Thursday afternoon. You got a 990 low pressure storm here. I mean, you got moisture, but all your heaviest stuff is to the northeast and east of the center. Not much on the west side. Okay? And as we continue forward, okay, I'll take this to here. This is Friday early morning. Basically a 988 storm about to go into the panhandle of Florida. Okay? So that has trended weaker on the same solution as the euro. So let's see what the Canadian has. Again, this is all 12Z runs from today. So we'll take it to about here. And then we'll move it forward a couple of frames and move this down. So, excuse me. So on the Canadian, they have a 995 storm just north of the Yucatan Peninsula, heading north. With this, they have weather way out in front of this. Way out in front. And it's pretty much wound up with moisture. But as you'll see, as we continue this forward, this has a more forward speed, and is completely weaker to a 994 with weather with a sharp cutoff of weather on the west side of the storm and a huge area of moisture to from the southwest side all the way through the east and northeast and north side of the storm. So with those three model runs as of the 12Z, they have weakened this to tropical storm, maybe a low end category 1 storm. And now I'm going to show you why. We will take the, no, we won't take the Canadian. We're going to start with the Euro. We're going to start with the Euro with this one. And we're going to go to about here. Oh, let me move this further south. Okay, so here we go. So, yeah, that'll work. So your storm is down here. Heading to the north. Okay. So, what is going on? Okay. Now, you have there's a lot of things going on here. So, let me get to Friday. Yeah, we'll leave it here. So here is your storm. At this point, 996. You have a low pressure center here in northeast, and you also have some sort of cutoff low here in the southern plains. You have a high that's out here. Winds around high pressure go like this. Winds around low pressure go like this. And again, this will go like this. So there is all this weakness all in here and all in here. Okay. So if we move this forward, we'll take it to here. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some things. You got a broad low pressure center here off the northeast coast. You have a cutoff thing here. Okay. And then you have your storm here. So underneath, so this is what it looks like as it starts making that landfall move. Again, this is not a forecast. All these model runs are just model runs. It's not a forecast, but has been differences between this morning and this afternoon, which I'm trying to point out right now. You have a trough axis here with a little low here. Inside a broader cutoff low here in the southern plains. Okay, your pattern is like this as far as the jet stream, and then you got this cutoff area low pressure here in the southern plains. And that's why this storm is going to go more to the north and east because of the wind direction is going to push it that way, which will prevent it from strengthening. So that's the euro. I would take you to the GFS and show you same thing. Take it about here. Okay, you got, so here is your storm. This is Thursday afternoon. Right here, you have a low up here. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay. What the hell? So you're low. That is not a low. That looks like a high pressure here. Oh no. Uh, so that goes this way. You still got your thing here. And you got this. So you got a cutoff low here in the southern plains. And then you got high pressure here to off of just north of the northeast. Okay, there is a low pressure that is kind of below this high off the northeast coast. Okay, the winds around this with its trough axis kind of like that. So basically, what we got is basically a cutoff low with an intended cold front. Okay, in the southern plains, while you got another low pressure here in the northeast. Okay, but you got two different wind directions around them, which is going to pull this to the northeast. and east eventually. So, but it was over here. Now it's over here. So it kind of made a northwest jog because of this cutoff low. Got to do a low better than that. For this low, just sitting here, just spinning around, you got this storm here, and then you got a little low pressure here in the northeast. Okay, I can show it to you better on the wind anomalies. I'll show you that in a minute. Um, so that is how the pattern will be when this storm comes up late next week. Are these lows going to be where they are? They may not. Again, this is not a forecast, but trends have been having this possible storm be weaker. So now I'm going to take you to the wind anomalies now and show you how this evolves. So right now, oh no, we'll move it up to the target date. So this is your current pattern right now. You have a split flow going on where you have a bowling ball down here and one up here. Okay. Now we'll take it up to the time of approach, which is here. So this is so this is Thursday night or Thursday afternoon. Your low is here. Your storm is right here. Okay. You got a cutoff low here. You got another low here. Okay. This trough axis is right here. This trough axis is right down through here. Okay. So this storm here, the potential storm, oh yeah, there is a high just right here. So this is what's going on. You have your storm coming up from the Gulf. You have a cutoff low here in the southern plains. Okay, just spinning out there. Okay, you have another low pressure that's coming down from Canada, or rather retrograding west to the northeast. Okay. So we continue this to landfall, potential landfall. Okay, your storm is here now in Alabama. You still got this cutoff low here over the Central Plains. You still got this low here in the Northeast. your wind is coming off this way off of that, and then you got wind coming off the bottom end like that. Okay? That's going to make this storm kind of go this way, but it won't. I will show you why. Because now you got this is going to get sucked into this one. As I move it forward, that goes north. Okay, this is now Friday, so now we'll stop it here. You still got this low here over the northeast. This is your piece, this is your leftovers of what could be Helene. This is your cutoff low here. And this is going to get wrapped into the cutoff low in the southern plains, while the part of the other piece of the energy goes out to sea. Because your high is here and winds are going this way. So now you're going to have this storm split into two pieces. One riding the southeast coast going out to sea, heading north. You got the main part getting wrapped around into the cutoff low in the southern plains. So we continue this forward. That piece goes out to sea, and now that gets absorbed into the cutoff low in the in the southern plains, and is now absorbed into this big cutoff low that is slowly moving east. So here's your cutoff low. Everything's already, the low is out here, your piece, and then this is your piece broken off. Okay, this is your big spiraling cutoff low, which the storm that came up, basically it went up and basically went back this way and got absorbed inside of this cutoff low. So that's one solution, and that's this from GFS. I will now show you the euro. Same deal, we'll move it up to the target time. Okay, so now we're at Thursday. So we'll take this. So we'll take this into here. So this also shows low up here in the northeast. Winds coming down like that. You got your cutoff low here in the southern plains. Winds going like that. And this is your storm. with a high pressure right about there. Okay. With winds going this way. So this potential storm will have an avenue to go up through here due to the forces of the cutoff low and this high. But I'm going to show you something. Those are your trough axes. Okay? Here is your wind energy from your possible storm in the Gulf of Mexico. Um, as this spins around, or yeah, it's when this spins around, it starts kicking this. When this spins around, it's going to kick it this way. So now, so let me clean this up and let me show you proper way. So let me draw your axis. Let me draw your axis. Okay? And this is your storm. So, as this pivots around this way, your storm is going to follow that. When it makes landfall, you got this axis coming down this way, and part of this is going to get shunted that way because you got a high pressure just off Florida. There are a lot of moving parts with this now. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, you have a trough axis here. So basically, when your trough axis swings, so this is your, yeah, so when your trough axis swings around as this continues to spin in place, whatever's in front of it's going to get kicked that way. So this is going to get hit by two lows, one cutoff, one cutoff, well, two cutoff lows. I mean, this is cut off and this is cut off. I mean, technically your jet would be something like this. Okay? Then you got this axis here with your low. And this sits by itself. And then you got another one that's out here. And then this axis would be something like this. And then your low is here, your potential storm. So this is going to get hit by two trough axes when it makes landfall. So you progress this forward, okay? This one finally bowling balls off to the south and east. Now it's positioned here. But your trough axis is now swung all the way down into this area. Now you got this cutoff low, okay? This is your storm here. And I'll show you what's going on now. And then you got so this is what's going on. Once that makes landfall, okay, from Louisiana to Florida, okay. Oh, that's now low here. Um, Now you have a high pressure building in over the Great Lakes. You have the cutoff low still sitting in the southern plains. Okay? Then you have the low pressure system that moves south and east off the coast of the mid Atlantic. Now you have different wind flows on each side of the storm. You're going to have a piece that's going to kind of join this and go out to sea. And then you're going to have a piece that's going to get absorbed into this and cause this to become a larger gets absorbed and continues to spin and weaken over time, because now you got a trough here that's moving this way, and this low is going to get absorbed into this trough. Well, you have a trough that's pretty much going to go flying. This is probably pretty much going to be a cold front flying through Florida at this point, which is next. This is October 1st. And then here comes another cutoff low heading the same direction. And then you got another low. No, that's not a low, that's a high. Then you got high pressure sitting up there. It's a log jam, folks. This is going to be in all kinds of a log jam. Okay? So, let me get to, so these are the highlights of the mile guidance breakdown that I've just shown you video of the possible tropical system in the Gulf. A cutoff low develops in the southern plains midweek, and a low pressure develops and drops southeast into the northeast. The trends as of these model runs at 12Z show a weaker storm due to the cutoff low in the southern plains. This storm may begin to get ripped apart after landfall, and high alert continues for Louisiana to Florida. That is all I have for you today. I will be back with further updates as they become available.